What do we want? We want an end to terrorism, right? So why are we complaining about the first step? Because this is decisive. I mean, for the very first time, we talked about the fact that America didn't give us weapons due to the Leahy laws. Anyway, they sold Super Tucanos to us once Trump came in the first time. We talked about the fact that we might not have capacity to be able to fight these
stringent constitutions.
Yes, for the use
of the
Super Tucano. Okay, but it was during Buhari's time that Super Tucano finally came in.
Yeah, but
the process has started.
Government got
so Buhari finally got that
initial process.
Secondly, we talk about the fact that we can't do this alone, that we need expertise from America, isn't it? Didn't we all argue across board that we need expertise? In fact, we also argued about boots on the ground, because I'm just trying to chronicle the conversation we had leading up to this. That's okay, maybe America can put boots on the ground and everything. So why, when America probably use a Tomahawk that I know that we don't even have in our military arsenal or fleets, because if I check the price of a Tomahawk missile, it's going to cost a lot. I'm not sure in any way in Nigerian arsenal we have it like a Tomahawk missile that can go about close to 1,500 or 2,500 kilometers. We used a long precision strike missile. It got in there. We had an attack. In fact, luckily or unluckily, the villagers have not complained of anything as regards a casualty. In fact, you can see the villagers hovering around there. It's just for us to be able to get a recce. Then why after that, we are now hearing narrative by some people that, hey, why must it be America? Secondly, some people are even trying to tell us to our face without providing facts that, hey, Nigeria didn't do anything with America. It's America alone that did it.
Well, that was how Trump posted. I think like it was just at his command, as commander-in-chief.
At least.
I mean, I thought that was, Trump style.
It's braggadocious.
Yes.
But we have seen from our own authorities that it was a collaborative effort. And you need intelligence here. And I've also pointed the fact that it's not today that we've had that level of intelligence.
Yeah.
Thirdly, then you now start to hear narrative about religious dynamics. All of a sudden, we all remember that. We all agreed, leading up to this time, that America should help pursue. Then the likes of Sheikh Gumi now said, I don't mind terrorists being killed, but as long as it's on holy hands like America, I have a problem with it. But the same Sheikh Gumi that doesn't mind on holy hands like America supplying aids through USAID that they used to feed poor children in the same northern part of the country, he doesn't mind the aid though. The aid is not unholy. All of a sudden, to kill the bandits and the terrorists have become unholy. He said Nigeria Bush should go in there. Then the next narrative, all of a sudden they are now plotting, is the fact that, when you look at this, it's denting our sovereignty. The same thing that Nigeria admitted, though, that it's us and America that worked on this. So they choose to ignore that statement, and now they are now saying it's denting our sovereignty. Oji, see, the Nigeria that I know very well, in the coming weeks, it will continue. In fact, I think Sheikh Usani has even come out to say this morning that Nigeria should know that going forward, that Nigeria still needs to solve its own problem internally. And say, we know all these things. Right. But the question we are asking is, why is this strike all of a sudden causing jiggy and everything? Oji, if you get more of this reaction, it just shows that to a large extent, what we say we want, when we now start to see the results, some people don't get happy about it.
Right.
And we need to be careful.
All right.
Misinformation will continue in the coming days.
All right.
So you will see people trying to skew narrative. But please, let's stay tall. President Tinubu on this, you have started the process. You know, I don't agree with you on a lot of things, President Tinubu, but on this, the process, you started to end terrorism.
All right,
I know it will come with consequences, but stay tall.
All right. Dr. Abati, was, quite reassuring to see the Department of War by your Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, respond in the manner that he did. And, I think that was a reassuring tweet, that there was this collaboration between the United States and Nigeria. But, when we saw Donald Trump's tweet, how can you fault some Nigerians that believe that this was an invasion by the U.S. without collaboration? These are the sort of questions out there.
Trump will always be Trump. Yes. Trumpism. Yesterday I was saying that, Trump, either for negative or positive reasons, is the main subject of the year 2025 in terms of his interventions within the international space. Now, Trump has gone to Syria to have military operation, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, Somalia, and now Nigeria. And so, he fits into a pattern. And he's speaking also to the conservative Christian evangelist base in the United States, whom he had promised that he would defend the interests of Christians anywhere in the world. So there's that political subtext to it, to say, I promise to go after radical Islamists anywhere in the world. Now we're in Nigeria. But the clarification came from both the War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, and also from the Nigerian authorities who said this is about collaboration. And collaboration, cooperation has been part of this narrative. With the Nigerian government saying originally that, look, we want cooperation. With the Nigerian government proposing and achieving the objective of a Nigeria-US working group on the basis of which 2 delegations from the US came here and the National Security Advisor led a delegation to the United States. People must expect some form of outcome in that regard.
Of course.
So there's no need for any quibbling. Number 2 is the geopolitics of it. Now, I said earlier when Vimbai was here that, look, the Americans, AFRICOM, they call it, African Command.
AFRICOM, yes.
Their biggest operation is in Djibouti. But they maintain training, patrolling operations in cooperation with other countries within the West African region, Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, and another country. Is it Guinea also? No, I forget the next country. So this operation was from the Gulf of Guinea, from USS Paul Ignatius. That was where they fired the Tomahawk missile from, and that means that there is American presence within the Gulf of Guinea. And the geopolitics of it is that it may be Nigeria today, it may be another country tomorrow. Because after all, it's not only in Nigeria that we have terrorism, where they have it in Mali, they have it in other countries within the Sahel. Right. Now America is positioning itself. The third thing is this thing about misinformation. There's a lot of work for the Ministry of Information of Nigeria to do. Absolutely. A lot of work for the Directorate of Defense in the Defense Headquarters to take on these narratives that are coming up from people who are being mischievous, from people who are being deliberately ignorant, from people who are trying to politicize this. Global terrorism, the main issue is about cooperation. And the Nigerian government must give us information, even about the casualties, in case there are casualties, because as Trump has promised that he will return, if he sees that ISIS and Boko Haram are not relenting, then of course we may get to a point where there will be collateral damage. Absolutely. Which is the reality of war.
Okay, Dr. But just to quickly debunk the misinformation going on, in fact, AFRICOM, General David Anderson, commander of AFRICOM, has confirmed that it was a working relationship between Nigeria and regional partners to increase, so that is confirmed. So for those that say it's only Nigerian authorities, it's not only Nigerian authorities that confirmed that it was a cooperation. It was both AFRICOM and Nigerian authorities.
And it's his style. I read that with that.
Thank you. Yeah.